which is kind of how long it feels like the rain might last.
Yeah, after this week, I mean, we're definitely entering this wet pattern throughout the week, but at least it's not a cool rain. I mean, we have the warmth that will be sticking around, and so your weather headlines, those rain chances will be off and on throughout the work week. And as far as that warmth, seasonal the next couple days, but we will be bouncing back above average as we head towards the remainder of the work week, specifically your Thursday and your Friday. And then storm chances. Well, we'll be in and out of a couple non-severe storm chances, but there is the risk for strong to severe storms to develop early Friday morning. A live look at downtown Detroit right now where you can't see a whole lot. So likely starting to see that soupy kind of weather out there develop as we have a lot of moisture and some low-lying clouds. So 63 degrees in the city, 63 in Ann Arbor, 62 in Pontiac, 64 in Monroe. We have easterly winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at Exact Track 4D. So it's scattered variety type of rain. This is not widespread. It's not heavy, but there is enough moisture that you're going to start to feel that humidity for sure. The muggy meter going up. We'll be talking more about that now that we're entering that season. But Exact Track 4D showing that we have some more widespread rain up towards Sandusky. The rest of us just little pockets that we're in and out of. So it looks like maybe just a smidge of a pocket between Plymouth and Canton there. Romulus getting just a little bit, Taylor as well. But from Dearborn, stretching up towards Madison Heights through Hamtramck, some light rain north of Oxford, and then that's stretching towards Imlay City. And then we have some on the east side here from Mount Clemens down into the Grosse Pointes. And so scattered rain will stick with us off and on throughout the day, and we will only be rising into the low 70s. And I say only because we're coming off a day where we hit 81 at Metro Airport. But putting this in perspective, this is right where we should be for this point in May. So high temperatures will be likely low 70s, maybe a couple areas that don't see as much rain get in the mid-70s today. Probably a better chance of that by tomorrow. But if you're heading out to Comerica Park, have a poncho on hand for that 6:40 first pitch. You might see a little bit of light rain, but I don't think that we'll have a washout over there. Here's what I'm looking at model-wise. And so by noon, we still have some rain pushing through. We'll get a little break, but it will be around 7 that you start to see some more of that rain lifting from south to north into our area. So that's why I'm not ruling out a little bit of rain over Comerica Park. But by tomorrow morning, we're drying things out briefly. Then we have a few possible non-severe storms developing into the evening Wednesday. So tomorrow's forecast will rise back into the 70s, but a better chance for some storms to develop as we head into Friday morning. So I think Thursday ends up being relatively dry with a chance for rain late, better chance for that rain pre-dawn through the morning on Friday, and then we'll have just a sliver of a chance this weekend as we get back into the 70s.
Hopefully they will be able to come up with the money and restore that.
So much history.
I know, yeah. Well, with the warmer weather, you may be reaching to dress your child in last year's clothes and then suddenly realizing, oh, my child grew out of those.
Literally did this with our son yesterday. I don't think those shorts fit him anymore. But many parents know buying a whole new wardrobe every year gets pricey. Kim DeGiulio is our resident expert when it comes to finding all things secondhand, thrift shopping, you name it. And she has the story from Ann Arbor.
Well, here at a great option, especially some of those one-offs like the fancy Easter dresses.
Halloween costumes.
That your child probably won't wear again. And,
Well, and then they go through those crazy growth spurts where you're like, wait a second. I mean, I just bought all these clothes like a month ago and they're already out of that size. Like, how does that even happen?
And shoes, I'd have to imagine. Same deal.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. And not everybody can have a huge family like my wife's side, which is we just keep getting boxes
everything.
From the sisters keep coming in. Oh, look at these.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, if the kids have outgrown their rain boots, head over there and get a pair.
Need them today.
That's right.
On the way to school.
Right, because you will get your use out of them this week as we're in and out of those rain chances. However, we're starting to dry things out a little bit, so that times out well, especially for the elementary school kids that maybe are getting ready to drop off this morning. But live look outside Belleville, it sure is gray, but at least we don't have the rain coming from the sky as we speak here. So 64 degrees over at Metro Airport, 63 in Ann Arbor. We have 63 in Howell and 61 in Port Huron, and it's a light easterly breeze out there to start the day. On Exact Track 4D, most of the rain has lifted north of I-69, so off towards the Saginaw Valley into the Sandusky and Thumb region, and then maybe a little blip between Romulus and Grosse Ile, but that's about it as we tilt radar, coming up with a little blip by Milford and Birmingham, and so that's a little spritz or a sprinkle for now. And I stress for now because we will be in and out of rain chances. We have a weak low pressure system to our south. That's creating the disturbance this morning, and then we're just in an active pattern over the next few days. Seasonal, even though it's Coastal, soggy, seasonal today. Will be around 70 for that afternoon high, but cooler coming off of an 80-degree day yesterday. But widespread low 70s this afternoon across southeastern Michigan. Heading out to the Tigers game. I don't think this is a washout, especially if we can get that first pitch in and it's dry. There will be some light rain that could potentially roll through in the first few innings. But like I said, you want the poncho, but I don't think that we end up seeing this completely delayed or postponed, shall I say. We'll be right around 70 throughout much of the game. And so an hour-by-hour look at what we're talking about here. You have that rain that still pushes through from time to time midday. But 7 o'clock, that's where I said I think that you could see a little light shower pass through Detroit. But then that fizzles out throughout the evening, and we actually should start Wednesday dry before we get pockets of some moderate to heavy downpours that work their way back in the afternoon. So I won't rule out a non-severe thunderstorm come the later part of tomorrow. 73 for the high tomorrow. So similar setup to today as far as those temperatures. And then the warm up will ensue by your Thursday and Friday. So the moisture come tomorrow lifts once again from the south. You see that building into the evening, and then we peel that back. And this model keeping us relatively dry Thursday. But as moisture dances around us, I won't rule out a drip or a drop Thursday, but it will be drier compared to what's on tap by Friday morning. That's where we have that better chance for a line of showers and storms to roll through before we even get to daybreak Friday. But some of that rain will linger after sunrise. Then we should start to dry things out come Friday afternoon. So looking at your 7-day forecast, seasonal low 70s through tomorrow. Then we're back in the low 80s for your Thursday and Friday. This weekend, 70s will return. Slight chance for a shower Saturday. Looking drier Sunday going into early next week.